Detective Inspector Shona Oliver examined the photograph of the skeleton she'd just been handed. The skull showed a sharp groove across the crown, the classic mark of a sharp trauma injury. But was it the cause of death? Stop, she told herself as she passed the picture back to the archaeologist. It's a 400-year-old killing, and for once, not your problem. Just enjoy your day out. Shona waved to her 16-year-old daughter, Becca, who was kneeling in a trench in the heather, a look of rapture on her face. Next to her, a fair-haired girl in a hand-knitted green Aran jumper held up a shard of blackened pottery. Shona and Becca had met Dr. Cameron Armstrong at the University of Glasgow Open Day the year before. He'd been assiduous in answering Becca's emails and eventually offered her some hands-on experience camping with the current students for a week or so. Dr. Armstrong slid the photo back into a folder. About Shona's age, he was lean and not much taller than her own 5 feet 4 inches, with messy dark hair and a long straight nose. Threads of gold and white showed in his scrappy beard. Muscled forearms and quick movements betrayed a life spent not entirely behind a desk in the archaeology department. "Male approximately between 30 and 40 years old," he offered. When Shona didn't reply, a grin creased his sun-tanned face. "Thought I'd hooked you there. Gonna have to try harder, aren't I?" Despite the grim subject matter, he was definitely flirting with her, and that was okay. He had a wife, Tanya, and a young son, Lewis, still in primary school. Her own husband, Rob, had cropped up in conversation now and again too. Shona took it as a sure sign he enjoyed her company. Harmless flirting was all it was. "Nice try, no cigar." Shona returned his smile and waved the wad of float-to-live leaflets in her hand. "No work for me, I'm on my jollies." The open day at the archaeological dig at Beild Moss, in the eastern uplands of Dumfries and Galloway, was the perfect opportunity for the RNLI to remind visitors about the dangers of wild swimming in the nearby rivers and lochs. Shona, who volunteered on the Kirkness lifeboat 50 miles to the west, was putting in a stint with the station helm, Tommy McCall. He'd grumbled that when he was a lad they'd just call it swimming, but agreed that while the RNLI's remit was saving lives at sea, educating the public about the effects of cold water shock while doing a bit of fundraising was a good idea. The moorland was also within Shona's policing patch, so if today's exercise saved even a single life, it was win-win as far as she was concerned. "Anyway," Shona said, nodding towards Cam's folder, "not much mystery how your research subject died. Some big bugger with a sword did for him." "I see you're blessed with both brains and beauty, Detective Inspector," he smiled. "That would also be my conclusion. It was a common fate for a border reaver." He held out a hand, inviting her to walk the short distance towards the edge of the site and a spectacular view down to the Solway Firth. "You know that's where the word bereaved comes from," he said. "It's how you generally ended up if you met one." When it came to murder, Shona thought detectives, or indeed archaeologists, would never be out of business. A couple of Cam's students arrived with a query and drew him back to the trench. She glanced at the RNLI gazebo. No customers. It was the same for the small pottery, a cheesemaker and a local conservation group. Freya, a cheerful blonde in a dark green apron with the Twin Stags logo of the Douglas Arms gastropub, offered Tommy a shot glass. He sipped it and made a polite grimace.